Good morning and welcome back again to another live stream. The date today is the 4th of the third month, March 2026, and it's officially, I would say, our first live stream for this week. Our previous live streams, I was back and forth between my trading community and doing live. So I was on live calls within Discord and also live on YouTube, and that kind of created not the best environment or not that focus, trying to juggle between both, trying to talk between both of them. So my attention was pretty much divided. So that's why, if you realize, I deleted the previous live streams, given because of that. But we are back today, and I'm only focused on the live, and I will get back onto the lives as routine as we were going previously. So today, let's see what Nasdaq do. Again, it's Wednesday midweek. Potentially, it's our last and final high probability trading day for this week because it's NFP week. The protocol for NFP week, you want to be in as early as possible. The best trading days would be Monday, Tuesday, and as early as 11 a.m. on Wednesday. By 11 a.m. today, we should be done for this trading week. So let's see what Nasdaq has to offer for today's trading. From the daily perspective, to be honest, there is nothing on the daily that really speak high probability, but there's also nothing that speaks of higher prices, to be honest. I still want to see lower prices in Nasdaq, and so far we can pretty much see that Nasdaq is banging around. And again, that is predicament, or that is reasonable to see based on what's been happening within the world and within the financial landscape from a geopolitical perspective, all the war with Iran and so forth, and America and Middle East and all those stuff, and what happened with Venezuela and the oil and stuff like that. That would definitely have a direct impact on the financial markets. Not that it would drive the market to long-term direction, but it would be used as a sense of deception, manipulation, or as a smoke screen to manual intervene. And that would create high resistance liquidity conditions where the hands that be is within the marketplace, or the powers that be influencing the algorithms. And that, for that reason, we would see some very choppy price action and high resistance liquidity run. Again, that doesn't mean that is not tradable. It's definitely tradable. It's definitely possible to get opportunities within the marketplace when those things is happening. However, you need to be more cautious, and you need to have a bit of more patience as to what you're trying to do and how you're trying to do it. You need to lower your expectations and also lower your risk. So that is what we will be looking at here. And on the 4 hour, what I'm looking at here is this fair value gap right here. Seeing how that fair value gap treats price. Let's just see if you would act as some form of means to send price lower or not. But so far, let's just see here. That's that blue area that I'm looking at. But pretty much we can see from the beginning of the week, price pretty much being bullish. Let's see if we can see a midweek reversal happen. But all in all, let's just observe. I will just go ahead and mark out my 8:30 opening price so that we can gauge our premium and discount prices. So 8:30 opening price, that would be right here. So 8:30 open, and then we'll also mark out our midnight opening price. So 8:30, and then we'll mark out our midnight open. And then we would gauge to see where price is, if it's in a premium or discounted marketplace. So far, we are in a premium, and that means if we are to be bearish on the day, then the best place to be buying would be in premium. Selling, sorry, would be in a premium or above midnight opening and the 8:30 open. We still have London lows intact. Pretty much, we still have London lows intact. London highs is already run out. And another thing I would be paying attention to is these relatively equal lows resting right here from London session. We have these smooth lows here. That can be a target that we can see the take price towards. So I would be looking at that level for a forced drawn liquidity. And at the opening, let's see if they want to run price higher to take the buy side first, then drop price lower to the downside. So that is what I'm looking at. And let's just wait for the opening bell in a couple. So if I'm quiet from there on is because I'm waiting on the opening bell and I'm not doing anything as yet. So let's just wait on the opening bell at 9:30 and see what happens then. Right, so let's just see what happens here at the opening bell. Again, I'm not doing anything as yet. I'm just waiting for 9:30 to see what transpires here. Again, let's see if we can have a Judas swing where price run higher first, take these highs here and create a short opportunity to sell price down lower to have a bearish price action or bearish displacement. Preferably that is what I would want to see. I want to see the run price higher first and then send it lower. Running price higher first at the opening bell, that would create a Judas swing or a deception to trick traders into buys, to buy a breakout, only to run on them in low resistance liquidity run lower after. So that is preferably what I would want to see at the open. I would want to see a bullish open, and that way we use it as a Judas swing to trade to the downside. But let's just observe. So far we could see some volume coming in. Let's see what happens here. So we have the opening range gap low here. Most likely it's a premium gap. That means our bias is a 70% chance that price trade to fill the opening range gap, consequent encroachment. So let's see here. And based on how price opened, we could get that opportunity to take price into the opening range gap. We can even enter now, but I'm not seeing anything to enter as yet. But if that would be in play, then we want to see price run towards the opening range gap using the open volatility to do so. What I'll pay attention to is this value gap here. And let me just bring up my buy and sell buttons in the meanwhile. That way, if I execute, we do execute. But let us observe here what happens. I'm not doing anything as yet. I'm still sitting on my hands and waiting for the opening bell. We have the opening bell in just a couple seconds. Well, let's just observe. Let's see. So we have the opening bell high coming in around here. So we have a premium open gap. That means 70% chance that price trade back into consequent encroachment or the middle of the opening range gap. So let's see if that can happen. And preferably, given that my bias is bearish, then I want to see that opening range gap fill completely and trade lower to the downside into the relatively equal lows that I had in mind. Opening range gap high. So again, remember our narrative. We want to see price be bullish at the open, or we want to see a bullish open. That would create a form of deception, or Judas as we call it. A Judas is where we see an opposing run to what the actual move is. So if we're bearish, then we want to see a bullish run short term, and then they run price lower to the downside. So I like the fact that they open price and sell it up higher, being bullish. Now I'm looking to see what price do in that area here. Now my attention goes to see what price do after taking that buy sell liquidity. Again, remember we have the opening range gap, and the 70% chance of that the opening range gap being filled is in play. So that is what we're looking at here now. So let's see what happens here as price trade higher with a bullish open. That blue area here, that blue box, is the 4-hour fair value gap. This fair value gap here, or CB, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. That is what I'm looking at here, and looking to see if that would act as a means of resistance to send price lower. But I like the fact that we traded higher. We take the buy side liquidity resting here, creating a Judas swing or a bullish open. Plus, we're in a premium market. We're above 8:30 open. We're also above midnight open. So we're in a premium market. And as you know, you want to always sell at expensive price. So you want to sell a premium market. So we'll just observe here now as to what price does. Will it drop lower from here or not? So let's observe. And you can see that is a live account. You can see I'm in my trade of it and not paper trading, and we're in the live market. Well, I have a 5-second delay, but it's all live. It do. I feel like I crossed 4 accounts here. So now I'm watching here, alright, buy sell liquidity. Let's see what happens here. But that's a place where sells, we couldn't see price start selling off from here. But another thing to keep in mind as well, we have news at 10. We have news at 10. So you have to be careful. We have a high impact news. To be honest, that news we have, I'm not expecting it to be that much volatile. But if I can just share that screen real quick. Just a moment, right?
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
So I'm looking at here, right? I wanted to sell in that. I wanted to sell in that first presented fair value gap, but it happened a bit quick. So let's see here if it can give us the opportunity to take the sells. I want to see that be institutional order flow entry drill where price don't come back up into it. So I missed the early entry there, but let's see if we can get another opportunity. So I entered sales here. I'm in shots using that inversion fair value gap here as a means to trade lower, and also using the 10 a.m. News driver as a means of volume to trade and continue bearish. But I would take a partial off right here at these relatively equal lows here. Price did trade up into the first presented fair value gap, which is this right here. And I'm not expecting price to trade back up into this gap, right? I want to see that act as an institutional order flow entry drill and price continue trading lower. And right here, I would take one contract off. I couldn't go for a full swing or full put to take profit, but I would just get out there. So I'm in sales already. Let's see again if price would continue going lower. And remember, we have news at 10. So we want to see how that news driver opens. But I am bearish. And if I get stopped, then that would be it for me on the day. And most likely I would get stopped here. Alright, so I get stopped here. So that would be it for me on the day. And that would be the end of the stream. So good day and good trading.